For more than a month now, Ohio Republican Congressman Jim Jordan has had trouble giving a straight answer to a pretty simple question. Congressman, did you speak to President Trump on the day Trump supporters attacked the U.S. Capitol on January 6th?
Did you talk to the former president that day?
I've talked to the former president umpteen times, thousands. I mean not thousands
on
times,
January
but countless times.
No, I mean on January 6th, Congressman.
Yes, I mean I've talked to the president. I've talked to the president so many. I can't remember all the days I've talked to him.
On January 6th, did you speak with him before, during, or after the Capitol was attacked?
I'd have to go. I spoke with him that day after. I think after. I don't know if I spoke with him in the morning or not. I just don't know. I'd have to go back and. I mean, I don't know that when those conversations happen. But
so the answer is what? The answer is yes. Those bumbling answers to straightforward questions. Those answers were the closest we have had to an admission from Republican Congressman Jim Jordan that he did speak with President Trump the day Trump supporters were attacking the U.S. Capitol to try to stop the certification of the election. Well, now, thanks to a scoop from Politico.com, we know that the Congressman and President Trump did speak that day multiple times. Congressman Jordan now admitting, quote, look, I definitely spoke to the president that day. I don't recall. I know it was more than once. I just don't recall the times. Perhaps he will have the opportunity to have that memory refreshed soon. Today, the House committee that's investigating the January 6th attack sent letters to multiple cell phone providers directing them to preserve phone records that may be relevant to the committee's investigation. CNN reporting that the list of individuals whose phone records the committee wants includes President Trump himself, several of his family members. The committee also wants the companies to preserve the records of several Republican members of Congress, including Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Andy Biggs, Paul Gosar, Mo Brooks, Madison Cawthorn, Matt Gaetz, Louis Gohmert, Jody Hice, Scott Perry, and yes, Jim Jordan, all of whom played some role in promoting or appearing at or furthering the aims of the Stop the Steal rally that preceded the attack on the Capitol that day. It is really something, though, for an investigating committee to obtain phone records from a former president, from a former president's family, and from serving members of Congress. Joining us now to help us understand the ambition of this request and why this is necessary is a member of the House Select Committee on January 6th, Congresswoman Elaine Luria from the great state of Virginia. Congresswoman Luria, it's a real pleasure to have you with us tonight. Thank you for taking time.
Thank you.
Do you agree that this is a remarkable request? I feel like I've covered a lot of congressional investigations. Phone records of serving members of Congress, let alone a former president, I don't know if it's exactly unprecedented, but it does feel like a big deal.
Well, Rachel, this committee is tasked with fully discovering and understanding the facts of everything that happened on January 6th and everything that led up to January 6th, which obviously we know is an unprecedented attack on our democracy and our institution of government. So the committee is using these preservation requests to ensure that telecommunication companies preserve these records. This is a preliminary step. And, there's a lengthy list of people who are involved, and I won't comment specifically on any of the names, but I would say that, we're taking a broad look. We're casting a wide net to make sure that we understand all of the facts about what happened that day and have those records available as the investigation moves forward.
Do you and other members of the committee anticipate that these requests are going to lead to legal fights, either when it comes specifically to the former president or to serving members of Congress? I know you don't want to talk about any individuals, but given the reporting and given what Chairman Thompson has said about the scope of these requests for information, are you sort of building into your timeline an expectation that some of these things may end up in court?
It's certainly possible, and I think the committee's approach has been so far with these record requests and these preservation requests that we're essentially sending out requests and providing a deadline in order for the telecom companies or government agencies, depending on their request, to comply with that timeline. And then we have more tools moving forward. There is the possibility of issuing subpoenas if necessary. But our hope would be, especially if it were to involve current or former members of the administration or government, that people will willingly comply with these requests. But we do have tools available in order to enforce those requests with subpoenas later on if necessary.